There are lots of things all around us, exciting things that surround us.
But how does it work?
Do you know?
How is it made?
Do you know? Things that go up, things that go down, things that go pop, things that go round. With special cameras to show you inside. It's going to be a big surprise.
But how does it work?
Do you know?
How is it made?
Do you know? Do you know?
Let's find out!
Hi, I'm Maddie, and today I'm going for a walk along the riverside. There are lots of things you can see by the river.
Like lots of crunchy stones. Look, there's a bird having a bath.
And over there is a bridge, a very, very big bridge.
And it carries over 30,000 cars, lorries and buses every single day.
But how does a bridge carry all of that weight without falling down or sagging in the middle? Do you know how a bridge works? Let's find out.
How does it work?
Bridge.
This is the Humber Suspension Bridge. It's 2,200 metres long and would take you about 40 minutes to walk from one end to the other.
That's the same length as 22 football pitches. But it's really tall too.
The bridge has two towers that start at the ground and go high into the sky. There's one behind me and the other is across the river.
And they are tied together by the main cables.
They go up to the first tower, they go all the way across to the second tower and then back down again to the land on the other side. And they kind of look like they're drooping in the middle, don't they?
The main cables are fixed into the ground at the anchorage. There are lots of different types of bridges.
This one is called a suspension bridge because it's suspended or hung above the river by cables.
And those cables are called suspenders. They hold up the decking. That's what the road and footpath are built on.
But how do all the parts work together to make the bridge strong and safe for all the vehicles to cross? I think we need to take a closer look.
When a car drives onto a suspension bridge, the bridge gets heavier. And when lots of cars are on, there is more and more weight. The weight of the cars makes a force on the decking called compression, which is pushing the bridge downwards. The cables on the bridge make another force called tension. The tension on the cables pulls against the compression from the weight of the cars. The tension is pulled up the suspender cables and into the two main cables. Some of the force is pushed down the towers and into the ground below the bridge. The rest of the force is pulled through the cables to the anchorage, held deep underground. By keeping the compression and the tension forces the same, the bridge can carry the weight of lots of traffic safely across.
This is Martin. He works at the bridge and has given me special permission to take a closer look. Thank you. Let's go.
And to get that closer look, Martin's taking me to the top of the tower.
But the lift only goes so high. For the rest, we need to take the ladder. Whoa! We are so high up! This is the top of the tower and it's 155 metres tall.
That's the same as 35 double-decker buses stacked on top of each other.
To show you just how high we are, I've got my special 360 camera with me, and this lets us film all around whilst I'm standing on the spot. Okay, here we go. How good is that view? Can you see the hanger cables? All of the weight from the deck below is being pulled up through those cables. And then the weight through those cables creates a force called tension, which goes to the main two cables.
what does tension feel like?
You can feel tension in your hands if you curl your fingers around each other like this and then pull your hands away from each other. That pulling feeling is tension. You have a go. Some of that tension is pushed down the towers back to the ground below, and that pushing is called compression. If you push your hands together like this, you can feel compression too.
And because the bridge is made from really strong materials like concrete and steel, the forces go all the way down into the ground and hold the bridge up.
And this is where the main cables go into the anchorage points. Let's take a look inside them.
Down I go. The anchorage points are buried deep underground.
Whoa, this is massive. Can you hear the echo? Echo! Echo!
Can you see all those cables? They are what make up the main cable.
And each of those is made up of even smaller wires that look like this. It's just 5 millimeters thick, but it's made from steel, and steel is a really strong metal. No chance. There are 15,000 tiny steel wires in each main cable, and they're wound together to make everything really strong, so it can take the tension created by the weight of the deck and all of those vehicles. It's brilliant. I loved finding out how a suspension bridge works. What was your favourite bit?
Compression is the pushing force, but can you remember what the pulling force in the cables is called? That's right, it's called tension. Did you hear the sound of the echo when I went inside the anchorage?
Echo! Echo!
And did you see how high the towers were on my special camera?
Now you know how a suspension bridge works, you can look out for other bridges when you're out and about. Even some playgrounds have bridges. What else can you find in a playground? Slides are fun. Woo-wee! I like climbing frames. But have you ever noticed the floor of a playground? They can be colourful like this one.
And this floor is also soft and springy.
But do you know how playground flooring is made? Let's find out.
How is it made?
Playground flooring!
Playground flooring is made in a place like this, a playground flooring factory. Here, they make 60 tons of playground flooring granules every single day. That's 2,400 bags just like this one, which weighs the same as 30 rhinoceroses. At this factory, they make playground flooring out of 5 main materials, and here they are.
Calcium carbonate, you also find in chalk, polymer beads, a kind of plastic, a liquid flexibilizer to make it bendy, and a powder to stop it drying out in the sun. And finally,
Pigment. And pigment will give the flooring its bright colours. And today, we're going to see green granules being made. The first thing to happen is that the 5 materials need to be mixed together, and that happens here.
inside a giant mixing machine.
And this is where the green pigment goes in.
Look how runny it is.
The machine is called a compounding extruder, and inside this part are long screws that mix all of the materials together so they come out the other side. Once all the materials have been mixed together, one last chemical called organic peroxide is added. Whoa! And this is what it looks like when all of those materials have been mixed together. I've got a little bit of it here. It's like a goopy, stretchy green slime, isn't it?
Next, the green mixture goes on a conveyor belt to a massive oven. Inside the oven, all of that heat makes the polymer beads and the peroxide mix together and change. This is called a chemical reaction. So, when the polymer and the peroxide mix in the hot oven, the mixture will change from that gloopy slime into a hard, rubbery sheet. Isn't that amazing? But the sheet of rubber is really hot, so it's sprayed with cold water to cool it down. Then it zigzags through the rollers before reaching the next stage, the granulator. The rubber is cut up into strips by these choppers, but I think it looks like a wiggly snake. But the next part is so hard to see and hear, I'm going to use my special camera. And I put it on a long pole. First, the granulator chops the big sheet of rubber into lots and lots of strips. They shoot down a really long tunnel, where they get chopped up into smaller bits, about the same size as a pea. Now they're called granules. That was fun! I wonder what happens next. The granules are sent through long pipes where they get chopped up into even smaller pieces until they look like this. Oh, they look great, don't they? This is where the granules get weighed and are then dropped into bags. Can you hear that noise? That is the sound of the granules falling through the trapdoor below, where they get caught in a bag, sealed, and a giant robot stacks them. But how do the colourful granules end up as a playground floor? Today we're making a grey-coloured flooring shape.
Marius has cut out a shape in the floor for the new part that's going to get laid today. Do you know what the shape is? That's right. It's a dolphin. Come on, swim along.
The grey pellets are mixed with chemicals and laid into the shape.
I loved finding out how different chemicals react to make playground flooring. What was your favourite part?
Can you remember what it's called when two chemicals mix together and react to make a new material? That's right, it's called a chemical reaction. Did you hear the sound of the granules falling through the trap door into the bag? And did you see the flywheels chopping the rubber into strips on my special camera?
So the next time you go to a playground and see a soft, colourful flooring, you'll know how it was made. And when you see a bridge, like this one, you'll know how it works. See you next time.
There are lots of things all around.